This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, participants who are all connected in this webinar. I am Dr. G. Bhuneshwari, working as a professor and heading the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Loyola Institute of Technology, Chennai. It's my pleasure to welcome you all for this webinar on Introduction to Salesforce, organized by Department of CAC and IT. It's my privilege to welcome and introduce our resource person, Mrs. Sita Lakshmi Mahalingam. She started her career in Ramco Systems, Chennai as a software engineer. Then she moved to USA, worked as a programmer analyst in Sabri. In 2003, she started a hospitality management company and bought a Ramada property in Texas. She also worked as a general manager, operational manager for properties like Best Western, La Quinton Inn, and Suits. Then she started a startup called Skill Berzi LLC, which is a Salesforce staffing and consultancy company. And he want all the younger generation to know about the loads of opportunities available in the Salesforce ecosystem and make use of it to improve their career. I am very happy to welcome you, ma'am, for this webinar, and thanks for accepting our request during your tight schedule. So before starting the session, as usual, I want to give some instruction to the participants. Please turn off your video and mute your microphone during the session. You can post your questions in the chat box that will be answered by the resource person at the end of the session. And feedback link is also will be posted in the chat box at the end of the session. You can fill it and get your e-certificate immediately. So on behalf of LIT and Department of CAC and IT, I once again welcome you all for this webinar. I hope this webinar will be useful to you. Thank you, participants. Now I hand over this session to our resource person, Mrs. Sita Lakshmi Mahalingam. Welcome you, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good morning, depending upon where you are. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to do an introduction on Salesforce. This is just a basic course on Salesforce. It's like a beginner course. I would say like a first grade course in Salesforce. We are going to learn about Salesforce.com as a company, their products, and what are all the certifications that are available in the Salesforce ecosystem. And we are going to learn about Trailhead, which is a free platform given by the Salesforce.com company, and how to create our free developer Salesforce account. And I'm going to add some interesting facts also, like some of the facts about the company and the ecosystem that I found very interesting. And this is going to be just a beginner course. So let's move on. So like I said, I just want to mention the target audience. And I think most of the target audience are students. So this is going to be mostly like a beginner level course. So this seminar is for whoever wants to know more about the Salesforce. And if they want to know what are all the opportunities in the ecosystem. So this is going to be like a little guide. I'm going to be like a little tour guide for you to, if you want to start your career on Salesforce, I'm going to be a little tour guide. So make that clear. Let's move on. So this is the agenda for today, like what we are going to see for today. So we are going to see what is the Salesforce history and why we had to study Salesforce. What are all the advantages of a Salesforce, studying Salesforce as a, what is the advantage of taking Salesforce as your career? And what is the advantage of Salesforce for companies? So, and we are going to learn about the Salesforce products and services. And like a little fun part, I'm going to show some of the most interesting mascots for Salesforce. And we are going to see a little intro about Trailhead and Trailblazer Community. And we are going to learn about Dreamforce. Dreamforce is an annual convention. It's a very famous convention in the Trailblazer community. Last year in 2019, there was more than around like 2 lakhs people attended in the Dreamforce convention. And we are going to learn how to create our first Salesforce developer account and a little bit of Salesforce, little bit of intro about what are all the Salesforce certifications that are available. So let's go on. This is going to be the little definition of what is Salesforce. Salesforce is basically a CRM, which is a customer relationship management software. The main reason for Salesforce is it brings the customers and the companies together. So I want to give a little info about Salesforce. Salesforce is one of the most admired companies that got the Fortune magazine award for 2020. And Salesforce is also a Fortune 100 best companies to work for 12 years in a row. These are some of the important note that I want to say about Salesforce. And what is the need for a CRM? Why we have to have a CRM? So the CRM can attract more buyers, and you can use a personalized marketing, and you can win more customers by getting to know them better. You win more customers by getting to know their needs and concerns, and you can deliver an amazing shopping experience for your customers. And from service side, you can respond to your customer faster. You can respond to your customer issues faster in any channel. And you can also automate time-consuming tasks by building custom apps. So like I said in the PPT, it's a customer relationship management software. So I will let you see the definition in a minute. So I'll give you a time for you to go ahead and read the definition. So let's move on. This is just a little comparison of Salesforce with other competition in the market. Like you see in the picture, Salesforce is dominating in the CRM industry. And I think as of 2019, the market share went up probably like 21 to 22%. And okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's go on. Like if you see, Salesforce is the #1 company in the CRM sector, and followed by SAP and Oracle and Adobe and Microsoft and others. So this is just to show you the dominancy of Salesforce in the CRM industry. So let's move on. Okay, this is just to make it a little fun. This is just an history of Salesforce. Salesforce was founded by Mr. Mark Benioff and Mr. Parker Harris in 1999. Actually, Mr. Mark Benioff is a former VP in Oracle. He started his career as a assembly language programmer in Apple, and he moved to Oracle. He was one of the youngest executives in Oracle. He was running a sales and marketing department, and He started his career in Oracle in 1986, and he was working there for 13 years until 1999. And in very early ages itself, he was very much interested in creating the software and selling the games. So one of the games that he was selling was Flapper for the Atari. I'm not a very gaming person, so I don't know what all this meant, but I think if you are really interested in gaming, probably you may know these. And some of the games are King's Arthur, Nightmare, Escape from Vulcan Isle, and Crypt of Undead. And when by the age of 16, the games that he produced were giving them royalties around $1,500 a month. It was more than enough for him to pay for his college. And like I said, on his 13 years of working in Oracle, he was promoted to the vice president of Oracle at age of 26. And actually, he was the youngest youngest vice president in Oracle to hold the title. And the next one was, I think most of the attendees might have heard about Mata Amardandamayi. He's a Hindu guru from Kerala. And Mr. Mark Benioff took her as his mentor. And another interesting fact is in 2018, he bought the Time magazine for 190 million. And in 2000, he established a charity called Salesforce.com Foundation. And one of the fact that I like about the foundation is he created a 1:1 model of corporate philanthropy. They call the reason for him to create is his philosophy was it's not enough just being a big company. It's not enough being a big corporation.
Ma'am, Sita Lakshmi ma'am.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. No.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, let's go on. Okay, Mark Benioff was, let me start from the few minutes before. Mark Benioff said, the businesses are the greatest platforms for change in the world. He says that we have to serve not only to the stakeholders, not only to the shareholders, but also we have to serve the stakeholders. When he says stakeholders, he means the customers, the employees, the partners, and the communities. So in that way, we all can make a world a better place. And in April of 2015, he announced that he's going to review the salaries of Salesforce to ensure both the men and the women are being paid equally. So which fact I really liked about the fact that he's taking an initiative to make sure both the men and women are getting paid equally. So let's move on. Okay, some more interesting facts. The one on the very top, it's going to is the Salesforce Tower. That was a newly built Salesforce Tower. It was formerly known as Trans Bay Tower. It's a 1,000 square feet skyscraper in the South Market District of downtown San Francisco. And this Salesforce Tower contains a mix of office, transportation, retail, and residential uses. And this was designed by Cesar Pelli. And in fact, this is the last building that he designed. And it was completed on 2018. And this is the tallest skyscraper. Okay, let's go on. And upon its completion in 2018, this is the tallest skyscraper in San Francisco skyline, and with the total overall height of 1,750 feet. And this is also the second tallest building west of Mississippi River, next to Wilshire Grant Center in LA. And one interesting fact about Salesforce companies, they allow the nonprofits or any kind of nonprofit association to have their meetings. They allow they allow them to have their meetings in Salesforce Tower, which is very nice of them. And like as you can see on the slide, the current the revenue of the Salesforce company has been increased tremendously, almost like 11,000% from 2004, and with the total assets of $55 billion. And the number of employees is as of 2019. This is just on Salesforce.com, not including the companies that use the Salesforce.com software. And some of the major clients of Salesforce.com are Amazon, Alphabet, Adidas, T-Mobile, Aston Martin, and as of 2020, by March, there were almost like 3 lakh clients that are using the Salesforce.com software. And from 2006, Salesforce acquired more than 48 different companies, and they're still acquiring more and more companies. One of the major companies that they bought recently was MuleSoft. I think it was a couple of $1 billion that they bought it for. It was one of the major acquisition of Salesforce. And on the left, you can see this is the inside of Salesforce.com. If you look at the Salesforce.com office, they don't look like an office building. It's their workspace is designed based on Ohana, which is a family in Hawaiian language. Okay, and the picture on the right is the front registration of the Salesforce company in San Francisco. Okay, cool. We'll move on. Okay, so now we'll come to the most important question. Like most of the attendees, I think they are students and they will look for a job in a couple of years down the road. So as a job seeker, what is the advantage of learning a Salesforce? Why I have to learn Salesforce? So that'll be a question, like as a common man, why we have to study Salesforce? What is the advantage of taking Salesforce as a career? Let's see the answer for that. It's one of the best paying company. If you work for Salesforce.com, I think there are offices in India also, like in Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad. It's one of the best paying company with a lot of benefits. And actually in Salesforce terminology, they don't use the word employee. They use the word trailblazer. Trailblazer, if you look at the meaning of a trailblazer, is a A trailblazer is a pioneer, is an innovator, a lifelong learner, a mover and a shaker. And a trailblazer is a leader who leaves a path for others to follow. And most importantly, a trailblazer is a person who builds a better world for others. So they call in Salesforce ecosystem, they call everyone as a trailblazer. And as far as the job markets are concerned, there are around 3.3 million jobs in the world as of 2022, and around 1.1 million new jobs, new Salesforce jobs in India itself. As far as India is concerned, there's a lot of opportunities for developer, and compared to other, I would say like 70–80% the job opportunities are in the developer side, and there are some administrative opportunities also. Compared to US, in US there are in Salesforce there is an opportunity for consultant, business analyst, and project manager. In India, they are not that much. Being a developer community, the Salesforce developer jobs are a lot of developer jobs are there in the Indian market. So let's move on. So as a job seeker, what are all the advantages for us? The main is the job security. You don't have to worry about losing your jobs or anything for another like at least 20 years. And next one will be the greatest help that you can get it from the Salesforce community. Like if you look at in other platforms like in Java or C++, you don't know who is best in C++ in your city or who is best in Java programmer in your state. But as far as Salesforce community is concerned, the community is so big, and there are a lot of awards and recognitions like a Salesforce MVP, which is the most valued person in Salesforce. And I think there are like a couple of maybe 3–4 people from India that are Salesforce MVPs, and there are a lot. They every year on Dreamforce they select people based on they select persons. They selected trailblazers as the Salesforce MVPs based on their contribution to the community, how they help other trailblazers. So that is that kind of motivates you to motivates you to become like a Salesforce MVP. And there are lots and lots of free resources to study and update yourself. The Trailhead, which is given by the Salesforce company, it's completely free, and they also give you a free developer account, and there are a lot of free seminars, webinars, and trial mixes that can help you to prepare for the Salesforce certification. There are free training programs, and there are two main training programs, I would say, that are very important. One is the Pathfinder. I think it's in US market, and they have one program that's specifically for Indian market, which is Journey to Salesforce. Let's look each one by one. The Pathfinder is a Salesforce Pathfinder is a training program, is a workforce development initiative. It's designed to train individuals with the technical and business skills necessary to pursue a career in Salesforce ecosystem. The Pathfinder was launched in 2018 in collaboration with the Deloitte. Pathfinder began with a commitment to train the next generation trailblazers. And Pathfinder vision is that all the individuals, regardless of the background, the demographics, and economic status, they can get the skills and support necessary to pursue the careers in Salesforce. And the Pathfinder participants, they receive a free technical and business skill training, free access to Salesforce certification exams, and They get preparations for certification and a big community of support, including the Salesforce Trailblazers and fellow Pathfinders. Upon completion of the program and certification through Pathfinder, the graduates will gain access to Salesforce Administrator and Salesforce Developer job openings and employers. And they also get opportunities to interview for paid internship and full-time roles with Salesforce partners. So you can use the Salesforce Pathfinder, which is the link given below here. Use the link so you can enroll in Pathfinder if you're living in US. And if you're living in India, there's a separate program called Journey to Salesforce. We will look at about this program. I think it's a 3 or 4 month. I think it's a 4-month program, and you can go to this link and then enroll yourself, and then it will give you a lot of trail mixes, so you can learn that and then train, and it will prepare you for a career in Salesforce. So let's go to the next one. Okay, now we'll see what are all the advantages for Salesforce for business. Okay, the main advantage for Salesforce, it provides you with the fastest path from idea to application. Generally, Salesforce customers they use software for mainly for 3 reasons. It's fast, it's easy, it's effective, it's affordable, it's scalable. We'll go one by one. Okay, in legacy platform, if you look at it like before, if you want to develop any software, from the idea, first you have to set up a hardware, you had to buy what all the computers that are needed, you had to buy the software that are needed, and then you had to build the application, make sure you have enough security, and then build the app. So this will take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. But when you use the Salesforce platform, from the idea, you can use the Salesforce tools, and then you can immediately go ahead and then build your app. It's very easy. So let's look at an example. Say Raj is a programmer, and he's building an application for a company. The company is in US. So in legacy platforms, how the whole process will go is, first the Raj will contact the company and he will get the requirement, and then he will tell them what software, what hardware to buy, and then they will buy the software and hardware, and then he will develop the program, and then he will go to his client place, and then he will install it. Assume 6 months down the road, if they have any problem, so what they have to do? They'll be calling Raj, and he either have to go there to the client place and then find the problem and then fix it. But with Salesforce, everything is in cloud. So I think most of the attendants might have attended the cloud webinar yesterday. So the advantage of cloud, they might have attended. So as far as Salesforce is concerned, we don't have to worry about the hardware, we don't have to worry about the software, we don't have to worry about the security. Salesforce will take care of everything. All we have to worry about is the idea, and then we can start building the app using the Salesforce platform. So I want to say one more time. So with Salesforce, since Salesforce is on the cloud, so our team can use the Salesforce from anywhere with an access. All you need is just an access to the internet. And moreover, Salesforce, it helps your company. It's really scalable. Say, for some companies, say an e-commerce company, during Diwali or New Year time, there'll be more traffic to your website. So that time you need more servers. So with Salesforce, it's easily scalable. You can just scale your requirement with the click of a button. So you don't have to go through the lengthy process as in the legacy platforms. So let's move on. Let's see what are all the Salesforce products and services. Salesforce actually helps the companies to get a 360 view of the customers. So you can view their whole journey in the system. For example, if you take the Amazon shopping experience, whenever you log into Amazon, it remembers your previous shopping details, your likes, your shopping history. And so when you log in next time, it tells you the relevant information. So you'll have a great shopping experience. So whenever you have a 360 view of a customer, it will greatly increase the company's service, sales, and marketing. So Salesforce products are, it has a sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud, community cloud, commerce cloud, analytic cloud, app cloud, and IoT cloud. So using all of these cloud, it's much easier for the companies to have a 360 view of a customer. Okay, let's see what are all the services provided by the Salesforce. Salesforce provides a software as a service and platform as a service. So when I look at a software as a service, which is a SaaS, software runs in a computer owned and managed by the SaaS provider, and it's not installed and managed in the user computer. The software is accessed over the public internet and generally offered on a monthly or yearly subscription. So just by paying a monthly subscription, you will be able to use the software. And when you look at platform as a service, which is PaaS, all the software and hardware required to build and operate cloud-based applications Can you please mute yourself? Thank you. So let's go back to a platform as a service. In platform as a service, PaaS, all the software and hardware required to build and operate a cloud-based applications are provided by the PaaS provider via public internet, VPN, or a dedicated network connection. Users pay and use the platform and control how the applications are utilized throughout the life cycle. So since Salesforce is in the cloud computing environment, what are the benefits of the cloud computing environment? It's a faster implementation. You can access the applications anywhere in the internet, whether it's a laptop or your mobile or any kind of device. And there is a rapid scalability to meet the demand and a higher utilization of infrastructure investments, because you're not investing your company money on buying the hardware or the software. So which in turn lower your energy and facility cost and greater IT staff productivity, because with using Salesforce, all we have to worry about is an idea and then how to implement it. We don't have to worry about the platform or any other things. And moreover, using Salesforce, it enhances the security and protection of the information. So we will go on. As a little fun fact, I just want to introduce you to some of the Salesforce mascots. These are some of the Salesforce mascots. Like you see, Einstein, he's in the analytical cloud, and Astro is like a guide, and Cody is a mascot for developers. So these are some fun mascots. And actually, the first mascot that was introduced by Salesforce is Sassy. She's the red one. That has the no software symbol. She is actually the first mascot ever introduced by the Salesforce company. So let's move on. Let's see what is Trailhead. Like I said, Trailhead is a free Salesforce platform that was given by Salesforce, the company. And it's an online platform that helps anybody who wants to learn Salesforce. So it's a free platform. You can learn what are all the new things in Salesforce. There are over 700 badges, and there are a lot of trial mixes also available. Like it gives you an idea, like if you want to take Salesforce as a career, Trailhead is the platform that you have to go to. So it basically tells you what are all the career paths that are available in Salesforce, and what it tells you it tells you in a more fun and interactive way. There are almost like 700 badges that you can learn. Like every time you learn a topic, you can get badges, and there are some super badges that you can show it on your resume, and it also prepares you for the certification, and it's completely free. You can go to trailhead.com to enroll in this free online platform. Let's move on. One important fact in Salesforce community is the Trailblazer community. That's the strength of Salesforce. It's a very big community that helps you to learn Salesforce. It helps you to connect with other fellow Trailblazers, and actually gives you a lot of fun to talk to each other, meet each other, and then learn from one another. And there are a lot of community leaders that whoever use the community, they are giving it back to the community, that they're teaching it. They are teaching other fellow Trailblazers. And the link for that, it's going to be trailblazer.salesforce.com. And this will take you, there are a lot of community groups also. Maybe there may be one in your city. Where I live in Fort Worth, there is an admin community. And in Texas itself, there are like 20 Salesforce communities. And I think there are a lot more Trailblazer communities in India also. There are communities for admins, there are communities for developers. So you can, if as a fresher, you can join in one of the communities, and then they will really help you. Actually, when I was new to Salesforce ecosystem, joining a community really helped me. It kind of, they help each other. They will make sure that you get help along each and every way. And moreover, they motivate you. They motivate you to earn more badges, to get more certifications. So I would really advise everybody, if you're planning to enter into the Salesforce ecosystem, joining a Trailblazer community is one of the best thing that you can do. And let's say a little about Dreamforce. Dreamforce is an annual convention that happens every year. Actually, in 2020, Salesforce decided that they're going to have a virtual meeting, not a real one. And Dreamforce 2019 was a big 4-day convention. It was attended by almost 170,000 Trailblazers, and it included more than 2,700 seminars. And like I said, 2020 Dreamforce is going to be a virtual one. And Dreamforce is a big highlight of a Salesforce calendar for a lot of members in the Salesforce ecosystem, with lots and lots of attendees, more than 170,000 attendees descending to San Francisco each year. This is not your average tech conference. It's a big conference to learn, to network with other trailblazers and get inspired. And they also have a partying also. They have a little bit of partying in the evening. And it's a great experience, but let's be honest, it's not cheap. It's very expensive to attend a Salesforce. Salesforce makes a great effort to stream a lot of the content online, but not every seminar is recorded and put it on YouTube. They usually put most of the main ones on YouTube. And it's too early for us to see how the virtual edition of Dreamforce is going to be go. And one of the interesting fact was in 2019, one of the keynote speaker was our ex-president Barack Obama. So they welcome a lot of high-level leaders, expertise, and it's a big festival of trailblazers. So let's move. So as a fresher, how do we get started with getting started with Salesforce? Your first stop will be getting a free developer account. Yes, it's completely free, and you just have to go to developer.salesforce.com and then sign up for your free developer account and enter your contact information and the username. Usually the username is in the form of an email address, so just enter a unique username and submit the form, and that's it. They will send you a welcome email, and you just have to on the welcome email you just change your password, and that's it. You'll have your own developer arc, so it's that easy to set up your own developer account. And I think this slide will be sent to you that it is, so you can go through all the links. And let's move on. Let's see what are the certifications in Salesforce. There are more than like 30 certifications, 20 plus certifications in Salesforce. As per the Indian market, I would recommend taking the developer and administrator certification. Even if you are going to be a developer, I recommend getting the admin certification first, because with admin, you will know what all the things that you can do with the clicks instead of code. So I recommend you have to finish the administrative certification first. There are 2 levels of certification in administrator path. One is the administrative 201 certification, and the next one is the advanced administrator. And as far as the developer is concerned, it's going to be the platform developer. They call us a PD1, and there is platform developer 2, PD2. And these are the main 2 entry-level certification. And once you got these 2 certification, based upon which path you want to go, you can either go for as a consultant or an architect or a Salesforce specialist. You can choose whatever path you want to move on. But Salesforce admin and Salesforce developer are the basic 2 certifications that you need, and your first certification will be is going to be a Salesforce administrator. Like I said, I will show you a little bit about generative Salesforce. Like you said, journey to Salesforce, it's a great way to start your career in Salesforce ecosystem in India. And the link is trailhead.salesforce.com/journey to Salesforce. So when you go to this website, it basically tells you just the 3 steps. You just have to register, create a Trailhead account, and then register for the journey to Salesforce. And there are specific paths that it's a 4-month course. It teaches you different modules, and once you are done with the modules, you will be connected with the employers for a paid internship or for employment in Salesforce. And Salesforce Pathfinder is another alternative to enter into the Salesforce career. And this was launched in 2018 along with Deloitte. And upon completion of this Pathfinder, you will gain a certification, and you also gain access to all the materials, Salesforce administrator and Salesforce developer job openings. And you also have opportunities to interview for the paid internship. So if you want more information about Salesforce Pathfinder, visit pathfinder.salesforce.com. Like I said, it's a 4-month program. You will be trained for Salesforce developer or Salesforce admin. And these are the top 10 jobs. Salesforce developer and Salesforce admin are top 10 jobs in US, and I think same with India also. With that, we are coming to the end of Salesforce, and I just want to note this point. They are planning to hire 300,000 more Salesforce administrators and developers. So there is a plenty of opportunities in Salesforce ecosystem if you are planning to enter into the Salesforce ecosystem. So I also attached, so with that, we are coming to the end of this Salesforce 101 introduction. I attached a couple of, this is my company. I attached a couple of YouTube videos for you to review, to learn more about Salesforce and the products, and some interesting facts about there's a video for Journey to Salesforce, and there is a video for some of the Salesforce clients, how they use Salesforce in their company. This is a community college in US that use Salesforce for their students. And Polaris is a non-profit company. They are using Salesforce to track the human trafficking, and Salesforce really helps them to track down and reduce human trafficking. So you can go through these YouTube videos to have more how these companies are fighting human trafficking using Salesforce. So with that, we are coming to the end of our seminar. Thank you so much for coming to the seminar, and I'm really thankful for the Loyola College for giving me an opportunity. Now I hand over mic to Dr. Bhuvaneshwari.
Thank you, ma'am. Some questions are posted in chat box, ma'am. So first question is, what are mascots about in Salesforce? Hello, ma'am.
Let me mute myself. Okay, let's go
Oh,
to the mascot.
no problem, sir.
Let's go to the mascots. Give me a minute. These are some fun characters that Salesforce introduced in the Trailhead, just as a fun note to learn Salesforce. These are some funny characters that they use in their marketing campaigns. The first mascot is like in US, they have a concept of mascot. Even every high school has a character they call as a mascot. So like that, Salesforce, they have a lot of mascots. Each has a specific quality. When they first launched the company, they introduced a character called Sassy that has a big no software sign. This one, not sure whether you can see that. This is the Sassy. She was a big marketing campaign character that Salesforce introduced. So it's just a fun characters.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question is Google buys Salesforce?
Actually, Salesforce uses Google. I don't understand what they say. Actually, Amazon, like when you look at, let's go to our previous slide.
Oh,
Give me a minute.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Actually, Salesforce runs on Amazon servers. So Google is also, I don't think Salesforce, Google buys Salesforce. Actually, Salesforce runs on Amazon servers. So I think that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question is, how much does Salesforce Trailhead cost?
It's completely free. I think I specified here. It's a free online learning platform. It's not, there's no charge in that. It's completely free for everyone.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question, what language does they use in Salesforce?
Salesforce uses a programming language called Apex. It's kind of like Java.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Then, if I build an application on Trailhead Playground, whether the created application shareable?
I think it is shareable. You can use either a playground or you can use a free developer account. I actually didn't try it, but I think it should be shareable.
Thank you, ma'am. Then, apart from the Salesforce, is there any models for CRMS?
You mean any software?
Yes, ma'am. Apart from Salesforce.
Yeah, there are plenty of softwares. Salesforce is a leader. There are plenty of softwares. But with the CRM market, Salesforce take almost like 20% of CRM market. Salesforce is one of the dominant software, but there are plenty of other softwares too.
Thank you, ma'am. Last question is, what is the scope of Salesforce in India?
Like I said, I think I mentioned in one of the slides, the opportunities for Salesforce in India is pretty good. There's going to be a lot more. Let me bring up that. like you see here, there's going to be almost more than 1 million new Salesforce jobs by 2022. So for both the admins and the developers, the job opportunities are really high in India.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So now it's the time for a vote of thanks. I request our Dr. C. Pritidana Cyril, Head of the Department in IT, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. So I feel allied to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of Lala Institute of Technology. I thank all the participants for participating in the webinar on Introduction to Salesforce. And I thank Ms. Sita Lakshmi for sharing her knowledge to make the session more lively. And I like to thank my colleagues to make this progress success. So once again, I thank all the participants for making this event success. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all the participants.
Thank you so
madam.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Bhuvaneshwari. Thank you for everyone for attending the interview. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Thank you. Dear participants, so the feedback link is posted in the chat box. Kindly